Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back up here. Welcome back for another day of Astro Gravitational Report and Wisdom for you. By the way, thank you guys. Great responses, great comments. That's how the community can see the resonance on within you. For it, thank you so much, guys, for watching and appreciate your coffee. For it. Let's the coffee keep me going. Currently it's about 2:36 in the morning. I said that before, guys. When I get a chance and when I get you the reports out, and I was like working too late, but there was something about the report that it comes to me before you want to sit down and look at the charts. This is the greatest things that you don't look at the charts that much for the next day or whatever it is. That way you stay kind of without you putting your mind. And I want to talk to you about this that if you look at it too much ahead, things that comes in for it, you can preset your mind, you can preset your energies, you can preset things. What are you watching it right now as a diagram? It is at 10 o'clock at night. That is going to be what at the midheaven, and boom, it's going to come out. They're going to be really put the pressure of Jupiter, the growth of the duality that it's there. But if you have the proper love within you, if you take a charge of that love for you, divine is going to be coming in and help you. There's going to be a lot of battles today, and the battles is going to be personal. Divine is going to step in up for you. The question is who's going to win? Okay. You, your ego, your desire to control, or you're gonna let some of the things you have to fight for it, some of the things you have to let it go, the divine to win for you. Very interesting energies because later on at talking about at 11 o'clock, you see that the midheaven is changing. That comes in from Mars and Uranus together with the Sun. A very powerful energy that it's gonna come in for it. But throughout the day, we are going to have a lot of divine intervention. Hopefully, that emotions in you, in there, they're not gonna be coming in and charge for it. Here is a preview at 7 o'clock. You're gonna have a different preview. I'm talking about these divine energies. They're gonna be coming in at 11 o'clock. That is it, the ascendant. That is with the Sun, Mars, and Uranus. They're gonna comes in and gonna tell you what they're going to do. Either you're gonna win or lose. You're gonna learn. These energies here with an a Libra in there, you're gonna be able to see them earlier in the day. They're also gonna comes in and play within as the divine energy from Mercury and Saturn. They're still going on. You are learning things, and when Venus is gonna go there, Venus is gonna be learning things. And this is a energies that today for it you're gonna be knowing about it. You're familiar with this. This is gonna be at 5 o'clock energies too. And here, that energy of the Libra that I said is the ascendant that you're going to be dealing at later on. For that is going to come in the giving you that part as the midheaven and post moon. So stay in the report so I can get you back going at 7 o'clock in the morning, so you guys can see what is the fiery moon of Sagittarius giving to us. A lot of expressions. You may gonna feel the intensity of the expressions in there, as the moon is gonna be opposing Mars and Uranus. This is gonna be like desire for you to be right, desire to fight, desire to have a this fiery conversations. And those fiery conversations, it's not gonna lead to anything good. You already know that. But your ego, intuitions, that boiling in there. You just want to get it out of your system because your ego doesn't like it. Your ego is just trying to get you in troubles. And with this being said in there, you're gonna get up with this because there is something happened. Maybe happened 2 weeks ago, maybe happened a week ago. That was it. This energy of like something is keep bugging you in there. You guys felt that those energies like something's trying to put a break on something, and you feel like something is not quite right. Well, what is it? Is not your love is not right. And being grown to overcome obstacles because when you do with love, everything's gonna be okay. The sun begins to opposing Pluto. That's not gonna be a good energies in the morning. For it, you kind of like resisting the changes, basically allowing what it is. Because Pluto is going back, it says like you haven't done certain job. What do you think you're going forward? Okay, I'm gonna send you back into finish this little polishing job, this little final adjustments, this fine tuning in there before you go. Okay, this is like the spaceship has to be ready, but they do these final checks and they find something is not ready with the spaceship, and you are like, okay, what happens in there? Well, they find something. Something has to be fine tuned, something fast because you're gonna take a long road. We're gonna be taking a long road at the evolutions of Aquarius. So wanna we make sure that we cut and we finish something on the earth because we're going forward. That energy is gonna be interesting because that energy is gonna be with the midheaven squaring the sun and squaring Pluto, lack of transformations, putting your ego in there. You're feeling at this because the sun begins to feel the energy of Leo. It's like, I don't have patience to go home. That's what the ego wants because that's where it is. This is a I am the king. But you're also created from the divine, so you're not actually a king. But that is the learning of the kings when they learn to cooperate with divine. All right. So talking about 8 o'clock, the ascendant is at Leo, G squaring the moon and Mars and Uranus. Here is that I'm suggesting you to be very careful, particularly these hours of 8 and 9 o'clock at work, because that's what the 10th house is up there. You see those energies of intense conversations coming towards you and sense your emotions as in a firing Sag. You guys have to know about it. Sag cannot keep things, they have to express. It is the house of expression. They may send a nice note, but they maybe send a nasty gram and the messages that you think like, oh my God, where did this came from this person? Okay, talking about Sagittarius, talking about duality. Okay, and this energy is gonna kind of like a preset tone. You're gonna feel like something is not right. Yeah, something is not right, but maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the people around. Maybe it's the collective. He has not figured out that you should be make these things mess up with. All right. Now it's coming a tough moment because midheaven at 9 o'clock is together with Mars opposing the moon. The moon it's squaring the ascendant at Virgo. This is a kind of like a rough time about it. You're trying to use the logic, but listen to logic when your ego is in charge. And that firing energies of the moon is just like, okay. Mercury, it is squaring Mars and Uranus. So the need of talking rough and tough and be so, it's coming. We need to understand this is the overall energies in there. If you listen to the divine energies from Saturn, just back it off. Let the people have the fights within them. That comes in and try to brings this intense communications towards you, and you're like, been there, done that. Why are you doing this? That's I don't need it. That's not what this is. I know the truth for me. And you just back it off. And you allowing that energy of these people to stay within them. Age just hits you, falls off, and goes back. See the mirror. They send it to you, you're reflecting it back to them. But not as a response, just it's not relevant to you. All right, so stay away from this. I'm talking about particularly at work because this is gonna be the 10th house situation. There's gonna be also a lot of duality facing it at 10 o'clock. Did I did right? Did I should? Did I sit? Should I stand up for myself? This should have set and limit you, making it aggressive action. And you gotta be happy that Saturn it stays in there and it says like, oh, don't do it. I'll stop you. I'll limit you. You're gonna feel like, but you gotta also be mindful about people who limit you because they have limits from within themselves. Let them find their own limits from within. Midheaven is together with Jupiter opposing the moon. That is gonna be telling you like, I'm not growing, I've not done the right thing, not feeling this growth, and so on and so on. But that is gonna be correlated to who? To Venus. Okay, Venus is learning how to change together with the Sun. They are facing who? They're facing the retrograde Pluto. And as a Pluto, it takes these energies of the unknown, puts you in situations that you don't know, you're not going to feel comfortable. But at the same time, Pluto says, like, I want you to be free. This is the job you need to do. Be yourself up. Take yourself out of the cage. If you want to ascend, it cannot be put in the regulations. But at the same time, you need to have regulations for the new way. Because freedom is not free, but freedom is not do what you want to do. Freedom is you to be in peace with the divine. Okay? You're going to find out. All right. Talking about 11 o'clock, you guys know this. You see that. I talked about it. This kind of like the energies of duality and those energies of synchronizations that comes in. This is kind of like the cube of Metatron connections because everything has its solutions. Okay, there is no problem without solution. You need to understand that. Just the problem says, solve me, upgrade it, figure things out, to it. Powerful energies, that's gonna be Mercury and Saturn in there. But as the ascendant is at Virgo, you're may gonna facing those dualities at the end. Should I have done something at the end or should I not? Should I do this or should I not? Should I say something aggressive or not? Should I do something aggressive or not? Because Mars and the Moon and oppositions. Every time when the Mars and the Moon is in oppositions, you feel like you need to blow the fuses. But don't forget about it that the Moon is at Sag into the fire sign while Mars is in Taurus. Don't book Mars who's in Taurus. Yeah, you can go ahead. You can try to get him angry, but when he gets him angry, don't run away. Because he's gonna come and get you. You're running, he's coming after. Alright. So talking about the balance, the requiring balance at 12 o'clock that's gonna come. You see this great energies between the moon and Venus and the ascendant is requiring that balance in there. Powerful energies with Neptune, powerful energies with Pluto, and all this kind of like a sextiles that it's created. They're coming in to tell you that you have to unite everything what it is. You're gonna see this making a balance between You know, when you make a balance between other people, daring you to put a people. I want to ask you to do this. It's very funky. I gonna understand gravity in that way within the relationship and how that it's attracting to the astrology. I did that a year ago for it in the United States when I were at Florida. Four people. You put the four people, one person in front of you, and two people exactly at this 90 degrees angle for it. Okay? And begin to talk and see how the conversations is gonna go. Few conversing energies that are in there for it too. You're gonna be seeing it how these energies, even if you just walk towards the person going forward, are they coming towards you? You're gonna be feel a little bit intimidated. But when you're talking to someone, what's happening when the two sides are beginning to talk to you? You're like this and like this, right? It takes your attentions and it's in a way. And that's what the squaring is. The T square for it, the two people who is on a side, let them talk to you at the same time. Do you understand something? It's a lot of more confusions, right? But if you take two people and you put them pretty much very close to each other and you're like there in the center, which is you imitating the yacht, when you do that, oh, when do the people get married? Take a look at it to the people who are close to you as a sextile. You're gonna see some totally different energies. And now picture that those people are the planets and see how they're gonna be having conversations is in there. Take it at the one person who sees the balance, taking up these emotions within yourself, taking this person who representing the unknown, get this spiritual teacher next to it, and then take a Mars and Uranus, which is that's gonna be two people who's gonna be coming and stay right against you. And Mars is the warrior, and the other is the universe itself. And you going against it. Try to go walking against it. And those two just gonna be looking at you, you know. And this is when the people gonna start what? Losing their growth. That is gonna be the fight with Jupiter. It's gonna be started coming in. Hi, Jolene. Glad to have you here. If you have any questions, let me know. You guys, if you're watching, some questions. So, talking about at 1 o'clock, the 1 o'clock energy, midheaven, it's always with the sun. And that energies in there is when you deciding to authorizing, you put the authorities in charge, but that is in the base of the day that so far has been. So whatever happening through the day, the beginning of the day at 7 o'clock, those 6 hours, okay, you're authorizing how the next 6 hours should be. But that is a fight with Pluto. That is a fight with the ascendant. There is no balances in there for you. And now you're wondering what you should authorize. You go ahead and ask for advice. When you have the advisor, hopefully it's a good advisor, you go to Saturn. And guess what? Mercury and the ascendant is divine energies with Saturn. Okay? So communications and a balance with the wisdom, bringing in towards your authority. That's what you should choose. Okay? All right. The more of the divine energies are coming as the midheaven is with Venus. Venus is going to be looking for the authority, for the emotions. That could be connections between daughter, mother situations because Venus represents the daughter, the moon represents mom. And that energy of the moon is cool with Pluto. So basically, instead of the daughter facing his own situation, she's gonna be asking mom about how can you make the transformations. Not bad if you're going for advice, but if you need to go do a job personally, do it on the base of your personal experience because you might repeating at the same energies as before. Because it's very interesting that these energies there with the Venus. Venus is sextiling with Jupiter. The Moon is sextile with Pluto, but they have oppositions. The one it's with Pluto and the other with Jupiter. So basically, the Venus and the Moon, they are gonna be resolving each other's issues for a growth. Very powerful energy if you take the synchronizations. Don't take the fights or don't take somebody to do your job. Okay. All right. Talking about 3 o'clock energies, the midheaven it's gonna be with Mercury. You don't want to talk about it. Oh, you don't want to talk about it. You're like Mars and Uranus in there, and you're like, I'm not going and talk to these guys because these guys gonna smack me down. You know when you talk a smack and the other person is no more smack than you, but you kind of like in a spiritual way. Then what do? You shut up, right? That's what this is. Okay. Sometimes the communications when it talks, they can be great, but when you understanding the things that gonna be far more beyond that, things are gonna be differently with this. There's gonna be a lot of different energies of people how to talk. All right, talking about 4 o'clock energies, the ascendant is gonna be at Scorpio. You guys know these energies of Scorpio for it. The moon was there 2 days ago. You feel like, oh my God, from this 2 days ago, I had a great situations, great emotions, and so on. But man, that was hard to talk, and then it was a lot of fights, right? And at the same time, the midheaven that is at Virgo, it's going to be giving this duality. This duality fights within you, what you're going to choose, your ego or the divine. It's coming in towards you. Like a train is going to be broken, tower, but it's not. It's just intense moments from the journey. All right, talking about 5 o'clock, here is you guys know this. Again, it's coming into you, it tells you it's all gonna be good. You saw it when the ascendant was at Virgo. You know how everything works. We talk about these energies of the people pouring around. Now you know how to resonate with people. And when the people approach you, when they come direct approach, what their agenda is, and when the people come in from the side where that is. Okay. All right. Talking about 6 o'clock, things are a little bit more intense for you because the moon is rising within the ascendant, opposing. Now we are like, why do the things don't move? Why do the things doesn't grow? Certain things has to be happening. Certain situations that has to comes in. Certain evaluations that has to come. You have to be ready for things. When you're not ready for things, grow. If you're a too small person and you try to do a big job, you can't. You're physically is unavailable, but you can have what? Desire to learn how to do it. And that's it. Growth. That represents this fifth house. That represents Leo, the growth. But it's all depending of what? Previous zodiac sign, Cancer. What did you learn from your surrounding, from your family? And that's what is going to be the power of the sun right now. It's like, okay, I have to go to this unknown territory. I have to look at these energies of thinking process within me, to think and listen to the divine. The divine's coming, 7 o'clock. Those gonna be the divine guards, protections put for you. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. This the moon is gonna be there in about the day where the ascendant is. There's gonna be this yacht between the sun, Mars, and Uranus. But there is a yacht between Mars, Uranus, and Neptune towards the end of Libra. At the same time, the ascendant is in divine energies with sun. You're gonna see these divine energies that the divine has you back these tough times. It's all depend of what are you going to align to, what are you gonna be allowed inside of yourself. Because with that intense energy, says the midheaven is with the authority, that what is. And you're gonna authorize the divine, and you're gonna authorize your ego to take a charge. You know what? It's gonna be not a sentence, gonna be a learning process. In the next hour, things a little bit calm down. All of a sudden, they just but there's kind of like a silence before the storm, and you're gonna feel it. Okay. The ascendant is gonna be divine energies with Venus. Is put some this divine power to Venus. Is like, yeah, you can do it. You can have that blind faith of love, and you can do it. Okay, you can. You can trust. Jupiter is divine energies with the midheaven. That reminds you what happened in about 2 days ago. That wind within the shadow. What did you do there? What did you do there? You shine the light within the darkness. Hopefully, yesterday you put that divine meditations with the shadow and understand it how to make it together. All right. Talking about 9 o'clock energies here, the intensity again, it's coming. You kind of like go up, go down, go up, go down, and then go up. And it's like, oh my God, Dio, what is it going on with this energies? The intensity is rising as that midheaven puts pressure on Mars and Uranus from Mercury in there. At the same time, the moon, it is getting these pressures for that growth. You see this for it? It's like I should have, I could have, I must, I had it. Ascendant is pretty much together with Pluto opposing their authority. But if you're following the synchronizations energies, you can fly. Because the synchronization is going to be leading you to the divine. Synchronizations, you find your peace, and the peace looks to the divine. And you're going to see it, the divine. You already know it. It was giving you as a preview, and you had to learn as that preview. And now it's 11 o'clock. You wonder, what is that fight? What is this thing doesn't give you a peace? What is this thing that you never got a chance to get? You're going to find it. The answer is the love. The love has to grow, and that's what Venus is actually in Leo, to grow the love there. And that's what Jupiter is in Gemini. Are you a friend? Because the king doesn't have many friends. And if it's king of an ego, has no friends. Like the ego has no friends. So we see it in there that these challenges in there is going to be asking you, what are you going to choose? as the moon, as the intuition's energies are so powerful against that growth. There is always an answer. And here is the divine. It's coming and helps you. It's gonna be telling you of these expressions. The moon is gonna learn that your mother is gonna learn in there. The authority, Mars, Uranus, and the moon, they're gonna be tomorrow in these divine energies. But it all depends on what you're going to choose today. Because if you choose the right choices, isn't there, you're going to be able to catch up those divine energies in you, those divine expressions. They're going to come in. Those are the deja vus. Those are certain messages. Those are like a certain answers as you walking on the street and you overheard conversation. Don't worry. Trust the divine. Everything's going to be all right. And you're wondering like, holy smoke. Maybe I need to hear that. Okay, there's gonna be a situations like this. You're gonna be seeing it because those are the expressions. You may gonna find that somehow a videos come to you, or somehow a books comes to you, or you go on passing somewhere, you're finding a note in the floor, or a drop. Somebody dropped it, a card or something, that it says something. Or you go to the coffee shop and they deliver your coffee notes. If you know what I'm talking about with this, you're going to see them. Okay? But that is it, been giving you a preview of this. That the divine is your back. All you have to do is have a faith, trust, surrender, and let go of the ego. Okay, guys? That's all I have for you. If you guys have some any questions, you may ask me right now. If not, we're going to close the sessions out and come back tomorrow for another Astro Gravitational Report and Wisdom here. Thank you so much for watching. If you love, enjoy. And let me give you some gifts.